Hey guys, Cody here. Over the past 6 months or so, since I've been doing these YouTube videos, I've had people ask about the books on my shelf, and in particular, a more recent question asked about those books and if they're part of a DS reading list. And the answer is no, they're not part of a DS reading list. DS does not have a required reading list or a recommended reading list. You know, there are things you could do to kind of improve your knowledge about DS and about international relations in particular if you're going out to take the DS exam or to go to the oral assessment. Um, I had someone on one of the podcasts recommend the Economist. I think as a news source to check out Reuters, Reuters. Reuters is a pretty neutral news source. It captures a lot of international news. Don't freaking follow the American news sources for unbiased opinion about international events. It's just not going to get you where you want to be, and you don't want to answer that on the freaking test or in the oral assessment. These books, however, how do I do that? These books, I'll show you here in a minute, but I actually, quick story, applied for CIA back when I was 26, back in 2006. I had been a couple of years out of the Marine Corps at that point, and I had a high-level individual in the CIA sponsor me in. I did well. I got past through like the first three interviews, the scenario-based interviews, the basic, kind of shake your hand, make sure you're a normal human interviews. And then I got to the psyche eval, and I was honest in the psyche eval. They asked me how much I drank, and I told them. I had just left, like I said, I just left the Marine Corps a couple of years. I was in college. I was playing rugby, drink a lot in rugby. And told them that I drank, 10, 12 beers a night when I go out. Not every night, just the nights that I go out. I felt judged. I felt judged in that moment. That didn't go over too well. Then they asked me about fighting. Again, I just left the Marine Corps in Russia. Well, Russians, they don't fucking like Americans. That's just the way it was. And so we got in a lot of fights out there. Got asked if I got an anger problem. And, I didn't have an anger problem. I was just protecting friends, protecting family, and doing what Marines do. So anyway, there are a number of other questions that they seem to not like the answer to. I guess I should have lied. That's part of the CIA. I thought you had to be honest at the beginning, and then when you get into the job, that's when the lying starts. But anyway, so I got my conditional offer rescinded, but in the process, I was required to read all these books, and I'm gonna turn the camera around. Shit, I can't turn the fucking camera around. So anyway, here are a few, starting out with. Well, all right. So First In is one of them. I read that one. That was a good one. Here's the two kind of political-ish books. I read Decision Points with Bush. I read a little bit of Colin Powell's book, probably about 2/3 of it. But anyway, the other books, First In, great book. Call Sign Chaos is just some Marine book. So Class 11 was required. CIA reading. See No Evil is good. The CIA at War. Can you guys still see that? Richard Helms, Gideon's Spies. Actually, that's what got me excited about the CIA. That's about the freaking Mossad. Check out Gideon's Spies, man. That's a real good read. They break up chapters kind of like I do in Agents Unknown, where each chapter is about something completely different, so you don't get hung up in like one whole story the whole time. What else? A Spy's Journey, the CIA's Russians. Read it. The Master of Disguise is pretty good. Spy Master's good. And then if you can see, where's that? Jawbreaker. So Jawbreaker, and then a couple of these other ones I just read on my own. But Jawbreaker and First In are about two dudes named Gary, and I forgot their last names. But it's about the first CIA guys on the ground in Afghanistan after the 9/11 attacks, and they jumped in with the army guys they call the horse soldiers or whatever. And anyway, the stories go back to back. So one story finishes, and then the next story kind of picks up with this other Gary picking up the pace, and they kind of connect, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, those aren't required reading for DS. But when you're overseas, you work with these guys somewhat, and not a lot, but you can kind of be familiar if you're working in Afghanistan on an outpost in Afghanistan. Or even Iraq, or even if you're in Moscow, just to have a good background of CIA and what they're capable of, I think is important. Then you get to realize how important their mission is, kind of where they stand on the totem pole, particularly when you're working out of embassies, and just yeah, their capabilities are out of control, and their budget is insane. And I've come across very few people in the CIA that I didn't enjoy spending time with, or I didn't enjoy working with. So anyway, those are some of the books that I read. There's probably some others you saw in there that are pretty good reads, and I've read most of them. A couple of them I had to stop in the middle because not all these are great books. But majority of those I did read, and yeah, they're a pretty good time. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep these videos. I'm gonna try to keep these videos shorter than I usually do, so that I can get a few more out to you. I had a couple good questions come in more recently, and I'm gonna try and pop another video here in the next couple of days to answer those. So anyway, same questions if you got them. Check me out, CodyPerron.com. Off the X podcast, Agents Unknown, True Stories of Life of Special Agent Diplomatic Security Service is my book. If you're looking to apply for the DS exam, check the fucking book out. I'm telling you, there are reviews out there that says the book helped them. I didn't know. They just put the review. So it's good news. Anyway, thanks for the support as always, and I'll catch you on the backside. Thanks, y'all. Out.